How's it going, everybody? I am Jason of JasonsRealm here, and today I am here with my Power Ranking Playoff Spectacular. Today, as opposed to going over the top 10, we're just going to say, screw it. Let's go over all 14 teams in the playoffs and say where they rank in Power Rankings from 1 to 14. Without further ado, let's just jump right into this. So, at number 14, we're going from reverse. We're going from bottom to top this time because, ooh, drama. But either way, at number 14, we have the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, this one, I was debating between them and someone else who plays at this spot. They're actually the next team up after the Eagles. But either way, the Eagles, it's all going to rely on Jalen Hurts. If Jalen Hurts can be good and be 100%, the Eagles can do something, but they're not going to do anything against the Bucs. The Eagles are boom or bust, and I think they're just going to bust against the Buccaneers. I don't see them winning that. Without further ado, let's go to number 13. At number 13, we have the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, this is Ben's last hurrah, but I think that their biggest weakness is the offensive line and quarterback play. If those two can shore up in the playoffs, this team can be a surprise Super Bowl contender. All they need is Ben to start throwing the ball a bit more to what they need it, rely on the run game. Hopefully, Najee's all right after his injury against the Ravens. And hopefully the offensive line can get things going because that's all they need. The defense has been doing well. They got turnovers last week that they needed, and they're playing for Ben. The defense needs to keep showing up, and they need the offensive line and the quarterback to show up. At number 12, we got the New England Patriots. Neither of these bottom three teams were ranked, but the New England Patriots, they're a tough team to judge. They can be really good one week and really not the next. And with this being Mac Jones' first hurrah in the postseason as a rookie, I don't really see this team going far. As of now, I see them having a very high ceiling, but also a very low floor, because if Mac Jones just says, hey, this is a regular week 19 game, I'm going to play it as such, the New England Patriots, they can go big. They can go boom like they did against the Jaguars. But they just have too many concerns, especially with the quarterback being a rookie, for me to say, yes, they're going to be a hard team to beat in the playoffs. So that is where their low floor comes into play. Now, at number 11, we have the Arizona Cardinals, down 2 spots from last week when they were in the top 10. The Arizona Cardinals really blew it this week. They had a chance to win the division. They knew they had a chance to win the division. They know that the 49ers have had the Rams number for years now, and they still couldn't muster a win at home against a Seattle Seahawks team that had nothing to play for. That's kind of embarrassing for the Cardinals, and I think that they are going to be potentially limping into SoFi. That's going to be a tough game in itself, though, because the Rams are so up and down that that game is impossible to predict. Both these teams are so up and down. It's stupid right now. It's stupid crazy. Speaking of the Rams, at number 10, we do have the Los Angeles Rams, who are down an incredible 6 spots from last week. This is because they had a huge collapse. They are very inconsistent. They had a 17-point lead against the San Francisco 49ers, up 17-0. Final score of the game, 27-24 49ers. Very strong collapse. The Rams just let the Niners walk right into that game. Momentum really shifted whenever the Niners were able to get one big sack on Stafford at the end of the first half and turn it into 3 points. And it was just embarrassing. It was an embarrassing choke job for the Rams, especially at home. And the fact that the Rams are having attendance issues by their home fans at home, Stafford was even quoted after the game as saying that there was communication issues because of all the Niners fans. So the Rams are having trouble. They don't even have a real home right now, it seems, because the Rams are not filling the seats with Rams fans. They are filling them up with opponents' fans. Now, that being said, it's a farther trip from Glendale, Arizona to Los Angeles than it is San Fran to Los Angeles. But Cardinals fans will travel if they want to travel. So it's going to be a tough spot, especially with Stafford being inaccurate throwing deep. It's a mess going into the playoffs. At number 9, we have the Las Vegas Raiders. They are up 1 spot from last week, and they had a huge prove-it game. It was their first playoff game of the season. Winner goes home, or winner stays playing, loser goes home. And they said, hey, we want to win this game. We want to bring the Steelers into the playoffs. We want to make the playoffs. And they came out with a purpose and did their purpose and won. Still, I think the Chargers are better than some of the teams on this list, but they aren't included, so the Raiders beat a good team to get into the playoffs. At number 8, we have the formerly not ranked San Francisco 49ers. They had a great comeback effort against the Rams. They have had the Rams number for years now, and they were down 17-0, had a 17-point comeback to win eventually in overtime, and that's all I'm going to say about it. They were able to win their way into the playoffs, and they have momentum. That's all I'm saying on the Niners, because I despise them right now. Yeah, tension's running high between me and the Niners. Either way, at number 7, we have the Tennessee Titans, who are up one spot from last week. They barely escaped Houston with a win, and the only reason I have them rising up this week is because there is rumors and murmurs about Derrick Henry coming back for the divisional round. If that happens, the Titans are going to be the team to beat, and tomorrow you will see my extended playoff predictions. Now, that might not match my official playoff predictions for each round. That playoff predictions each week will be given on Friday. So just because I pick a team to win doesn't mean I'm going to pick them to win on Saturday or Friday, I should say. But either way, the Tennessee Titans they let the Texans back in way too much for me to justify really a big rise for a win. Let's just jump up now to number 6. We have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers up from not being ranked last week. I doubted them. I thought that, hey, Tom Brady's not going to have any weapons. He is getting a bit up there in age, and he's not going to have weapons to throw to. So they're going to struggle, and the Buccaneers are not going to get anything done. And I guess Tom Brady saw that video and said, I'm going to prove this kid wrong and say, you know what? How about 41 points on the Panthers here for you? Yeah, he got the job done without many weapons. And this just proves that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are legitimate. And I think that this team has potential going into the playoffs. They play against a limping Eagles team. They should move on to the second round to host a game. I'm sure Raymond James Stadium's already preparing for their home game. At number 5 now, we have the Kansas City Chiefs down 3 spots after a win. You may be asking, why are they down 3 spots? There's better teams ahead of them, and they almost lost to the Denver Broncos, who don't even have a quarterback. The only reason that the Chiefs won that game was because Melvin Gordon can't hold on to the ball and said, here you go, Kansas City, take the win. We want to lose because we want to fire Vic Fangio and have a reason to, which they did. But they barely escaped with a win, and they are maybe limping into the playoffs. They might be hosting their game in a vulnerable state, but they are playing the Steelers, who they beat down on last time. We'll see if the narrative changes on this game going forward, but right now a lot of people are picking the Chiefs to dominate the Steelers, but we'll see. Now at number 4, we have the Buffalo Bills, up 2 spots from last week. They had a solid performance. They came out, had a slow start against the Jets, but once they got going, they were going. You would not want to face that team once they get going. Now, the inconsistencies is why they are not top 3. I feel the top 3 teams are a bit more consistent than them. So I think that Buffalo, if they can get their consistency game down, they are a very good team and a very strong team to face that no one wants to face. But the way they stand right now, they're a respectable number 4. But their consistency could be their Achilles heel in the playoffs. They are going to be playing this week. I think it's the Patriots, which is a divisional game in the playoffs. Those games are hard fought. So it's going to be a tight one. At number 3, we have the Cincinnati Bengals. No longer the Bungles after this season. I was always one to call them the Bungles, but I am eating my words now as the Bengals are up 2 spots and in the top 3. Now, I get it. They're going up 2 after a loss. But that's because Kansas City fell apart and the Rams just collapsed. I mean, there's just no excuse for what the Rams did. And that is why the Bengals ended up de facto being moved up 2 spots. I can't really fault them for this loss. They did bench some of their starters, including Joe Burrow. And what this game proved is that the Bengals need Joe Burrow to have any sort of offense. They would have won that game if Joe Burrow was playing, but they were not playing to win. And especially since the Titans won, it didn't make a difference. So they're going to have their playoff game against the Raiders. That's going to be a close game, hard one to pick. At number 2, we got the Dallas Cowboys, up 1 spot from last week. They had a strong offensive performance against the Eagles, but the Eagles were decimated. They had absolutely nothing, so I think it's a misleading performance. They also had a huge offensive performance against the football team, but that's the football team. They suck. We all know this. And against real opponents, the Cowboys' offense has been non-existent, which is why I think the Cowboys are going to be a first round exit. I hope they're not. I want to see them beat the 49ers and eliminate them. But the way the Cowboys are playing offensively, I don't trust it. So that's just the state of the matter. I mean, the defense is playing good, but the offense has to match the defense if they want to advance. And finally, at number one, I'm sure you can guess it at this point, it's the Green Bay Packers. You can't fault them for a loss against the Lions when they don't even try. You can't fault a team for losing if they have nothing to play for. So, like, I don't fault any of the teams that lost this week with nothing to play for. They didn't have anything to play for. And some teams, I think they wanted to lose to get a higher draft pick. So, the Packers, they rested their starters, and they're going to be going in well rested into their divisional game against the lowest seed, most likely looking to be the 49ers because, like I said, I don't see the Eagles winning at all, and I see the 49ers beating down the Cowboys, so most likely the 49ers. And, yeah, I don't really have much else to say, but they are looking like a great team heading into the postseason. And with that, that's going to mark the end of the Super Wild Card Power Rankings for this week. Now, every week here on out, we will be doing a top 10 next week for the divisional round, and then we will be cutting it down to the playoff field of the previous week. So for the divisional round, it'll be like top 10 because I don't want to have to go all the way through. But going into the championship games, it'll be like a 10 seed, or not 10 seed, it'll be, what is that, 4, 8, 8, top 8 then top 4, and then yeah. So that's just what it's going to be going forward. And yeah, if you guys like the video, smash that like button. It helps me out a huge bit. Let me know you like the content and want to see more. And if you really liked it, hit that subscribe button. Make it gray. And make sure it is gray with notifications so that you get notified as soon as I upload my next video. As I am looking to bring you guys consistent NFL news every day, or at least coverage of a game. So yeah, I look forward to that. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace out, and have a good one.